Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, I'm going to continue to dive down the rabbit hole, show you all documented and panel discussion proof that they are for a fact integrating DeFi into traditional finance and how we are entering into an era where we are not going to have to sell a portion of our digital assets like XRP, XLM, Bitcoin, many others. We're going to be able to turn those idle digital assets into yield-bearing assets, including stable coins. And all of this is happening at a very rapid pace. Here at CYPRX, we're trying to keep you all at the forefront of these innovations and get you all educated on this new transformative technology that has overtaken the financial landscape right now as we speak. So let's jump into today's video breakdown. I have so many fundamentals for you guys today. We're going to start off with this one. This is posted by Cointelegraph just the other day. We're going to dive into this, and I'm going to show you all how it full circles, and they're physically telling you guys this stuff on stage via individual representatives that are attending these events. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has announced the agenda and the panelists for its May 12th roundtable on tokenization, while the DeFi roundtable has been rescheduled back to June 9th. Take a second and listen to this gentleman. His name is Lorian Gable. He is the co-founder of an organization called Figment.
At the same time, the SEC will, in the next 30 to 45 days, be coming out with guidance, which it will essentially provide comfort and direction to all the U.S. issuers around staking, certainly Ethereum and probably other protocols. So that's going to happen relatively shortly, and it will be a big change. That's number one. And then there's just an education.
He goes on to confirm that in the next 30 to 45 days, the SEC is going to come out with guidance on staking with ETH and different protocols, which is a huge step forward and just goes to prove that what we're trying to show you all here at CYPRX is going to become the future. Now, here we have, this is posted from Securitize. This is just from 24 minutes ago on their LinkedIn profile. We are honored to have Securitize Georgia Quinn joining the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Crypto Task Force Roundtable on May 12th, tokenization, moving assets on chain, where TRADFI and DeFi meet. Joining the key industry voices, Georgia will explore the evolving regulatory framework for digital asset tokenization. And that led me to this link here. On this link, it takes you to this page directly on the SEC.gov website. Now, this is the SEC announcing its agenda and its panelists for the roundtable on tokenization plus date of change for the roundtable on DeFi. And if you click on this tentative list, it takes you over to this webpage. Okay, you can see the date, May 12th, 2025, Crypto Task Force Roundtable, where TRADFI and DeFi meet. So let's just take a look at who we're going to be listening to. People, I'm telling you guys here at CYPRX, we are giving you all the realest information in the game. Look at these freaking names right here. You cannot make this up. We are one of the only YouTube channels on the face of the internet right now that have showed you all these videos. Robbie Mitchnick from BlackRock sitting on stage with Christine Moy, right? You guys remember what I showed you guys just the other day where I posted this to you all. The future of banking will run on DeFi rails. Traditional finance is undergoing a huge transformation, not just a facelift, but a foundational rewrite. At the core of this shift is DeFi, decentralized finance, a technology stack that is turning static banking into programmable, interoperable, borderless infrastructure. Listen to what...
But I can share with you the vision that I'm working towards, which is, okay, let's talk about how, like today, when I get paid by Apollo, I get a deposit into, my bank account. And, on any given month, I might check my account and say, okay, my credit card bill is going to be this much. I have this much left to, invest. Usually a hot mess and working too much. So I'm like, maybe I'll just put it in treasuries and get whatever the treasury yield is. If at that. And it's like a multi-step process and need to go press some buttons and call someone to confirm it. And then inevitably the next month I have to pay taxes and then I have to unwind out of that and put it back into cash and then wait until my check clears. Now in a future world, and this is what I'm working towards and building with each of you is, I get paid into my crypto wallet, and in my crypto wallet, I have almost like a model portfolio designed that's customized to me. It's going to be 10% stable coins. It's going to be 20% BIDL money market funds. It's going to be 25% Apollo private credit and 25% Athena. Right?
Give me your pen, Robbie. I got to write this down.
Right. But imagine I have basically a customized portfolio to my risk profile that says, Christine at all times wants to have her account in this pie chart.
Yeah,
right?
There's a smart contract that when the assets drop, it deploys.
It deploys automatically. And then what that means is that every last penny of my earnings is fully invested in yielding without me actually having to do anything. And what that means is that every last penny of my earnings is fully invested in yielding without me actually having to do anything. And then, if I'm having Nobu at lunch, And basically I use my securitized debit card that's connected to my securitized wallet. Basically like, okay, here's like $100 to Nobu. That's an automatic swap of $100 out of my biddle into US dollars, into USDC off ramp, like CU0 hash, off ramp to pay Nobu. And then essentially like that means not only is every penny of my earnings deployed, it's deployed up until the last second of which I actually spend it. Now,
and you remember when Robbie Mitchnick was asked the question, what do you do as a bank CEO? You have to provide these products.
And you just heard this great explanation from Christine. How do you prevent your bank from getting bypassed by some of the things that she's talking about in terms of products?
You have to provide that because they have the incumbency advantage to do that.
They confirmed this on stage over a month ago, and now we can see them attending this event called When TRADFI and DeFi Meet, hosted by the freaking SEC. And you heard the gentleman at the beginning of this from Figment mention that, clear actions on staking will come into fruition over the coming months. This is huge. This is physical proof. What we're showing you guys here at CYPRX is fully materializing, and it's happening right before our very eyes. They're transparent. They tell you all this. You just have to know where to find this info. We have another name up here, Cynthia Lowe Bessett from Fidelity. Pay attention. That's going to play an important role here in just a second. We'll listen into a panel discussion that she was on talking about the same thing, how she's excited for yield-bearing strategies in the digital asset ecosystem in the near future to come into fruition. But we'll get there in just a minute. So we're going to come over here. Okay, here's another event that's taking place. This is a roundtable, and it is a part of the SEC Crypto Task Force ongoing series discussing crypto asset regulation. This is the Task Force Roundtable DeFi in the America Spirit, and I believe this is taking place on June 9th, 2025. So definitely tap into this. I'll be paying attention to this, but now let's get into some ongoing developments to show you all that the DeFi ecosystem is maturing and that institutions are for a fact taking place in this new transformation. May 6, 2025, Redstone, one of the fastest growing blockchain Oracle networks that most people have probably never heard of. You can buy the digital asset Red on, I believe, Coinbase, if I'm not mistaken, not financial advice, but just another asset that a lot of people probably don't know about, has partnered with Securitize, the leading platform for tokenized real-world assets, to launch the first ever Oracle price feed for Blockchain Capital's BCAP token. Live exclusively on ZK Sync Era, this integration represents a major milestone in the evolution of real-world asset adoption, enabling $150 million worth of institutional-grade assets to become composable on DeFi for the first time ever. This launch of this price feed marks an important step in the DeFi space. By bringing the BCAP token fully on-chain, we are not just unlocking new opportunities for investors in the tokenized future venture fund, but also driving the broader real-world asset market forward, said Markin, I'm not going to butcher his last name, the co-founder of Redstone. With this partnership, we are paving the way for tokenized assets to truly integrate into the decentralized financial ecosystem. So I just want to show you guys, these are recent ongoing developments that are happening that are shaping out the future of DeFi, showing you guys that institutions are for a fact interested in this technology and integrating with DeFi. Okay, if we come over here, we also saw this post from Securitize as well, more physical proof that they are currently, meaning institutions, earning yield on chain right now. In April, the BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund, issued via Securitize, distributed a record-breaking $7.9 million in daily dividend payouts. That is huge. The new largest monthly payout ever recorded by any tokenized treasury fund. Mark my words, these numbers are only going to continue to scale, and these posts are only going to continue by Securitize over the coming months. Since launching, BUIDL has now paid out over $33.3+ million in dividends, underscoring the growing demand for institutional grade yield on chain. And now these BUIDL products are available across 7 leading blockchains: Aptos, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Ethereum, Optimism, and Polygon Labs. This is physical proof that these institutions are currently generating yield. And if that is not enough, well, 4 hours ago, what did Zodia Custody just announce? Unlocking the full potential of staking. I'm physically showing you guys proof that they are building out the infrastructure for institutions to generate yield. And I've already shown you guys in previous video breakdowns how right now in this moment, we as retail investors can participate in the same yield generation strategies. Unlocking the full potential of staking. Zodia Custody posted just 4 hours ago on their LinkedIn profile. We have partnered with Galaxy to enable institutional investors to stake, access liquidity, and unlock financing opportunities while maintaining custody of their assets with their preferred jurisdiction. I say this all the time on X. We are entering into an era where you do not have to sell your digital assets, and uneducated, misinformed retail investors laugh at that statement and scoff at it like it's some scam. No, 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 no. Institutions don't want to be buying and selling. You have to understand that there aren't always institutions that are trading. They're institutions that are just buy side or sell side or just want to invest long term. And DeFi opens the door for those types of individual institutions that don't want to sell their digital assets, want to participate in this space, secure the network, and hold long term. So what this integration offers, it says it maximizes staking rewards by accessing Galaxy's institutional grade staking infrastructure. It maintains custody of their assets with Zoidia in a preferred jurisdiction, and it uses stake positions as collateral for loans or financial products via Galaxy's trading team without needing to sell their holdings. Do you see that key vocabulary right there? That is huge, considering that this individual gentleman said on stage just the other day.
Yeah, I'll just quickly add a couple points. I mean, it touched on a lot of great stuff. So just another point is that I think it just enhances the use case of Bitcoin, because if you think of institutions or folks holding Bitcoin in custody, it's actually a negative carry asset. It costs you money to hold Bitcoin, and no one wants to sell Bitcoin. So if you can add some sort of native yield that's sustainable through block rewards such as Core or Babylon or these unique hash time lock staking mechanisms, it's real yield, not some sketchy centralized lending market thing. That's a great way to get some yield, and it changes the economics of everything. Whether you're a TRADFI institution that's offering structured products based on these yields to investors, or on-chain money markets, it just changes absolutely the economics of everything. So I think it actually enhances Bitcoin, and you're going to see folks wanting to hold the LST. So if you're a market maker, if you're an
LST, he's talking about the liquid staking token, and he mentioned that this feature enhances the utility and the use case of Bitcoin. Institutions that don't want to sell won't have to. Think about this in terms of the XRP whales or other whales out there that exist on these digital assets that don't have native staking right now, and those things are being developed, specifically XRP, right? We now, as XRP holders, have the ability to go out and participate in the DeFi ecosystem for the first time ever with our XRP and turn it into an idle digital asset, into a yield generation asset, and so do now these institutions. And that's what you guys have to understand. This partnership is the perfect fusion, allowing us to combine Galaxy's trusted staking infrastructure with Zoidia custody secure technology, with the view to unlock our clients' digital asset strategies through custody, staking, and financing opportunities, said the chief product officer at Zoidia Custody. So if we continue on down the rabbit hole, if we go back to the panelists from the SEC announcing this agenda for the roundtable with DeFi and, introducing TRADFI. Well, if we come right down here, right, let me just show you guys this real fast. Here is that page. Right, it says where TRADFI and DeFi meet, May 12th, 2025. Well, remember I told you guys to remember that name, Cynthia Lowe Bessett from Fidelity, right there. Okay, if we come over here, she was on a panel discussion just a month ago. This panel discussion is called Integrating Staking, the Future Challenges of ETH ETFs. Listen to what Cynthia Lowe here has to say, and she openly says that at Fidelity, we're excited about these yield opportunities.
And so from our standpoint, I think there's a couple of perspectives. I fully agree with everything that everyone else has said. But from the standpoint of being an institutional holder of ETH, being able to participate in the security of the network is an important part of being an investor in this asset. And so that's why we pushed in the first instance when we made our filing to include staking, and that's why we've refiled alongside of everybody else. From the standpoint of do I think that having a staking yield in ETH is going to move the needle, right, for investors who are interested in the ETF wrapper? Probably not. But we think it's a much more holistic and the right investment exposure because of the fact that participating in the security of the network is being a responsible institutional holder of ETH. We are actually more excited, though, about the coming more constructive conversations, and I think everybody heard from the very distinguished panel that was here earlier around getting market structure clarity and being able to come up with more innovative and more great research driven portfolios that not just give you exposure to the asset, but a whole new yield generating, non-correlated set of yields that, right, from a financial services and a financial solutions standpoint, will give us a whole new tool set in how we build portfolios for our investors.
Participating in the security of the network by staking is an important part of being an institutional participant in this space. You all heard that vocabulary, right? So that is coming from Fidelity. So imagine that from a retail perspective, right? Going out, staking the assets that you hold, that you see value in long term, is an important part of being a retail investor, almost in a sense. Okay, securing the network for the future longevity of the assets in which you invest in. This is massive stuff that I'm showing you guys here. Let's continue down the rabbit hole, showing you all some of these ongoing developments, proof in the pudding that they are integrating all of this into the financial system, how we're going to be able to start earning and generating yield with our digital assets. If you guys are enjoying this so far, this deep dive, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. If anybody's interested in learning how we are earning yield on our idle digital assets, head over to CYPRXtrading.com. We'd love to have you tap into the Wealth 28 Club. This is from April 28th, 2025. So about, give or take, a month and a half old, almost, depending on what time you're watching this, but it's still from this year. And it talks about how Trump's World Liberty Finance partnered with Pakistan Crypto Council to promote crypto education and stablecoin adoption, right? And it goes a little bit into detail about this. Now, why is this so important? I played a video clip for you guys just a couple of weeks ago, where on stage we have Donald Trump Jr. going on to talk about how he sees crypto being the future of banking. And then we have Zach from World Liberty Finance going on to talk about integrating DeFi into an average everyday checking account and being able to generate yield with our idle capital. And that is how they are going to and plan to onboard the next 100 million users, right? Which is massive, a massive statement. And they're making progress to do so and commit to what it is that they're telling you guys on stage through their actions. Okay. And we can see that in terms of the ongoing developments and fundamentals. Now, last but not least, I have this for you guys. This is also from this year. The UK moves to regulate crypto services such as staking stablecoins. This is not just happening in the United States. I'm trying to show you guys that this is happening globally. This legislation, the regulations surrounding staking and DeFi, will materialize over the coming months, and we will see this integrated, these DeFi solutions integrated into traditional finance. A draft legislation published by the UK Treasury back on April 29th revealed new rules for firms offering crypto services in the UK, such as stablecoins, staking, and custody. The rules are part of the government's broader plan for change and are intended to bring crypto exchanges, dealers, and custodians under the Financial Conduct Authority supervision, mirroring the standards applied to traditional financial services. Chancellor Rachel Reeves said the regulatory changes aim to make Britain the best place in the world to innovate. She added that robust rules around crypto will boost investor confidence, support the growth, and protect UK investors. I like that word protect, because if we come over here, this post, okay, if we go back here from World Liberty Finance, where it talks about their stablecoin participation with Pakistan Crypto Council, right, aiming to bolster crypto awareness and education. Well, this was posted from Brava Labs. And so I did a little bit of digging on Brava Labs. And if we come over here, interestingly enough, Brava Labs just posted this 5 hours ago, understanding Brava's yield layer. Behind every yield-generating stablecoin on Brava is curated an engine of DeFi strategies we call the yield layer. Now, I believe that this is something that is in a beta phase, because you have to sign up to get pre-access to this website. But if you just go over and you look at it, it talks about what? Stablecoin yield management simplified. Brava simplifies stablecoin yield management with tools for yield optimization, risk management, and an integrated cover access, empowering users to get competitive yield options while maintaining full custody of their assets. Then right here, this is what I like, where it says security. It says comprehensive DeFi coverage against DeFi risks. Access the best rates for optional comprehensive protection, ensuring added security for your digital assets against DeFi related risks. That is huge, right? So maybe it offers some type of insurance, maybe it offers some type of enhanced security. But again, just going hand in hand with what they say here, to support growth, support investor confidence, and protect UK investors. And then, like I mentioned, if you come over here, this is an early access platform. So it almost seems as though this platform is not launched yet, but you can get and sign up for early access to this. And I'm just trying to show you guys that these developments are happening for a fact, right? So as always, showing you guys some of the realest research in the game. I had a couple of other tabs for you all to go over, but we're already going on 20 minutes in this video. So if you all enjoyed today's video breakdown, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. No hopium, no hype here. I'm not giving you guys my opinion. I'm physically showing you all how they are integrating DeFi with the traditional financial system right now behind the scenes. These are all things that the mainstream is never going to cover or show you all. So make sure that you follow us here on YouTube. Make sure that you go over, follow us on X via the CYPRX Research X profile and my personal X profile, where we're always constantly dropping documents and live feeds of information that goes readily unnoticed in this space. And if you guys want to tap into our Wealth 28 Club DeFi University, you want to see how we are generating yield on our idle digital assets, you can always head over to CYPRXtrading.com and tap in with us. As always, be cognizant, be aware out there. Many blessings, and I'll see you all in the next video breakdown.